Hi. The RØDECaster Duo could be all you need to make audio content in your studio or home or live event. And in this video, Tom, representing Rode, is going to tell us his 6 best features. What are the 6 killer things that this does that could be useful for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Number one is the audio setup guide. So the RØDECaster series initially was conceived as a very simple means of constructing audio recording setups for podcasts. So the original RØDECaster, it was kind of one knob, one function, very, very simple. And to sort of enhance that workflow, the RØDECaster Duo and the RØDECaster 2, RØDECaster Pro 2, I should say, actually have an audio setup wizard. So when you boot it up for the first time, it completely handholds you through the entire system. So it will ask you to tell what you've got connected. So you can actually tell it what mics you've got connected. You can tell it what connector you're using. It will tell you what gain settings to use, what DSP. It completely handholds you through the entire process. So by the time you get to the end of that wizard, you're completely ready to rock straight away. You
don't need to know what you're doing.
You do not need to know a thing.
Oh, good.
Other than how to turn it on and press a screen.
So it completely controls the setup. You won't need to understand audio gear to get your mics connected.
Not at all. Excellent. Not at all. It is very, very friendly. We are
showing this on screen, by the way, just because it would stop this from working while we do it. Mm-hmm. But cool. So a no-fail startup guide.
No-fail startup guide, yeah, completely.
So that's point 1. Mm-hmm. What is point 2?
Point 2, so the RØDECaster Pro 2 really elevated the audio quality for the RØDECaster series.
In what sort of tangible way?
In what sort of tangible way? So the mic pre's. So you might have heard us talking about Revolution mic pre's in previous videos. We did with the NT1 5th Gen. We spoke about that quite a bit. So this is an incredibly high gain, low noise mic pre. The idea behind that is you can plug any mic into it, whether it's a ribbon or something like the pod mic, or maybe the SM7B.
I was about to cough when I said it. It was like, yeah. Can we say that word?
We can say that word.
The SM7B is quite a high. It needs a lot of gain.
So the Revolution preamps will deliver as much gain as you will possibly ever need with the theoretical lowest noise floor possible.
That's a challenge. So someone to make like the lowest gain mic ever.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like to see him try.
Yeah.
The theory states that you could connect something like a cloud lifter or a FET head or something like that to the signal path of this. That would actually degrade the audio quality.
So those are devices used for things like the SM7B to help compensate from the fact that the mic pre's are not so banging.
Absolutely.
But the point, what you're saying here is you have banging mic pre's that supply all the gain that you would need to work with basically any mic on the market, including the 7B.
Exactly. And as I mentioned with the audio setup guide, it will let you choose the mic, it will let you set the gain, and there's so much gain that you just can't go wrong. You're not going to get it too loud or too quiet. It's absolutely perfect. And then the other thing I wanted to refer to in the audio quality section was the DSP as well. So with the RØDECaster 2, we massively upgraded the DSP capability. So if you're familiar with AFX...
What is DSP?
Digital signal processing.
What does that mean?
So it make good ariser your voice.
Oh, yes.
So
I'm familiar with that.
It gives you 2 modes. So AFX are a company that are owned by Rode. So they're sort of like a 90s legendary broadcast studio. They make the big bottom. Almost as good as the Mackie Big Knob.
You're not being crude. They had a device called... The Big Bottom was a processor that made you sound full and...
Gives you that sort of Jazz FM boomy voice kind of thing.
Yeah.
And all of their sort of top processors are in here. So there's 2 modes. This view we've got here is just 3 macro controls. If I change the mic, which I'm not going to do because it will turn it off, but it basically, you can pick what type of mic you've got, as I mentioned with the audio setup wizard. It'll actually change the settings of these to complement that microphone.
I see.
Behind each of these macro controls, it's controlling several different things. So I'm on mic channel 1. If I wanted more depth, I can add more depth, and you can see it gets a bit more bassy and a bit more kind of...
Jazz FM.
Jazz. Hi. But there are advanced versions of this. So if you don't want to use the kind of simple handheld modes, which I use these all the time, they're absolutely fine. But if you want to get really into it, you can click the advanced mode. Then you get access to all these different features. So EQs, panning, etc. High pass filters, all the stuff.
So like with the initial setup guide, there's a simple mode and there's an advanced mode for those who quote unquote know what they're doing.
Correct.
For those of us who feel like we know what we're doing.
Yes.
But yeah, so all you were doing, what are the three ones? Depth, sparkle, and punch?
Yeah, so depth will give you a bit more kind of boom. In terms of what is actually controlling, it's
I want some depth.
You want some depth? I can give you some depth. So
I love depth.
There you go.
Hello.
Depth for you.
Oh, yes.
In terms of what it's actually controlling, it's many different things of the different processors. I can't actually recall off the top of my head what they are exactly, but you can hear the effect it has.
What about sparkle?
Sparkle is going to give you a bit more brilliance and a bit more kind of sibilant kind of quality to your voice. So generally speaking, with the pod mic, I like to back that off a little bit.
It's not too harsh, though.
It's not too harsh.
Check. Can I have some of that?
You can have some sparkle, sir. There you go.
Thank you. Hi.
So a bit of sparkle for you.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of like high frequency sizzle.
Yeah. And then punch, as you'd probably guess, is going to be some sort of macro control over kind of compression to give you a bit more impact, a bit more bass.
Can I
impact.
also have some punch?
You may have some punch, sir. There you go.
Hello, check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, I mean, compressors have the effect of sort of evening out your voice. So if you go a bit quiet, then it's going to try and bring it up. And then if I talk really loudly, it tries to keep everything at a generally even keel.
Absolutely.
Turn into Matt Berry when I sound. Good God!
The beautiful thing with these settings, so let's say that you prefer how that's set up different to me, you can actually save that as a preset. So I could do Alex, that's your voice done, and then when you come over and, we do our podcast about whatever.
You push the button and can you save states like show?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
you can indeed, yes.
So it's easy to set up. It has this really nice DSP that makes us sound good in the box in real time. What's next? What's number 3?
Probably the most eye-catching thing of this unit is these smart pads. And this is something that's come across all 3 variations of the RØDECaster. Again, something that we massively upgraded in the RØDECaster Pro 2. The Duo has all of the features of the RØDECaster Pro 2. For me, this is where the action really comes in. So you've obviously got your kind of air horn. Enough of that.
Wait, no, there's never enough of that. That's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It just enhances any conversation. Is it possible to run this on battery power and just take this with me everywhere and just generally interject that?
You need like a really chunky power bank to do it, but you can do it.
You actually can do
theory.
it?
Yeah, in theory.
Cool. And portable PA, and pretty much that's just me. Yeah.
Right, I'm not letting you play with that anymore. So you've got the sound pads. So you can load up sounds. We've got a few clients that have like their kind of pre-roll for their radio shows or their podcasts or whatever. And then because you can have
loads
6 times 6, I think it is on this one. It's 8 times 8 on the RØDECaster Pro 2. I believe this is 6 times
6 is 36.
Yeah, I think it's 6 banks. Oh wait, no, it's 8 banks of 6. Apologies, it is 8 banks.
8 times 6.
Yeah, whatever that is. Maths.
And what we're seeing here is that you have colours, but you have the names of things. Just because obviously, as you move through banks, it can be hard to remember what is what.
Yep.
So I can see that's like this is controlling more than just sound effects, though.
Yes. So you've got the sound effects as we just saw, but you've also got some extra features. So one that I'll show you very quickly is the
voice effects.
Oh,
so voice effects.
Instant craft rate.
You've got a megaphone.
Oh yeah.
You can also say, "Damn it, Alex." You've got.
Goodness me.
You've got the Jabba the Hutt. You can do that kind of stuff, but then quite advanced and something I quite like are these 2 options. Okay, so. Sound, we've just shown, is launching clips. Effects is launching effects. And then you've got these 2 other options, which are really, really unique. So
they were mixer and trigger.
Yeah, so these are cool. So you can set up a sensor so that it will bleep, and you can change the bleep tone. You can record your own bleep tone in.
Okay, yeah.
Trash talk. So let's say you and me are doing a podcast and, we're trash talking one of our friends, and I'm like, we should probably not have that in the podcast, hold that, and that will mute that section.
Okay.
So we can start talking trash, and then when we take it off, it'll carry on recording where it's from. And then you've got fade in and fade out. So as you'd imagine, that does a fade in and fade out.
To the whole master.
That's
so it's like if you had music playing, you could then push that and it would slowly fade out the whole.
So what a lot of people do, like I say, they'll have their pre-roll, they'll launch that, and then they'll have the fade out. So their pre-roll then fades out, and they control that, or they can fade in the pre-roll. Back channel, as you'd expect, or maybe not, that basically allows you to set up a producer channel. So you could be presenting something, you'd be able to hear me, but the audience cannot hear me.
I see.
So it's like setting up
so
I can say, Alex, you've got
guest
Alex, you've got 5 minutes left. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can select what channels are the back channel and where they go to as well.
So it's sort of, these are pads that control mixer conditions and kind of things that help you make a show work.
Yes. But then you've also got MIDI. And this is a bit of a game changer as well. So if I go to there again, this is really helpful if you're using this to send your audio into something like OBS or any other kind of streaming solutions that accept MIDI commands. You can set up momentary or latching MIDI commands to control software. So let's say that we were streaming this out to OBS, as I say, we can say end stream. We can have a MIDI command that can insert like a still or run an advert or that kind of thing. So you can feasibly, with a little bit of tinkering, of course, completely have your entire show mapped across several pads. So intro, outro, fade in, fade out. You know,
and so
kind of
just to reiterate, MIDI, it's sending a little bit of data that programs can interpret.
Yes.
So things like OBS can interpret your MIDI command from that pad to do actions and make stuff happen.
Yeah, completely. I mean, you could have that as transport controls in Ableton as well if you wanted that kind of thing. So if you've got this connected to your DAW and you're recording
drum
through
pads, so you can actually...
Crude drum pads,
Does it have velocity?
No.
It doesn't. Well, yeah, okay.
But
fair enough.
On, off, it's fine, you know.
So I think it seems like these are all things designed so that you could try and capture your show in real time.
Yeah.
Like less production.
Yeah.
You're processing on the front end. You're getting it to sound really good. You're doing all your sound effects. You're doing your intro and your outro and your adverts baked in. You can pre-record them in the device.
Yep.
And you can fade out. You can control your stream.
The whole idea is to reduce the work in post.
What's the next thing?
So the next thing, quite a new addition to this, and I'll try not to press it because it will mute my microphone. You'll notice this little nub in here.
It says wireless.
It says wireless. So obviously Rode make wireless microphones, Wireless Go 2 and the Wireless Me. Those transmitters now work with this. They also work with the RØDECaster Pro 2 as well.
So what you're saying is this has got a receiver built into it.
It has
kind of secret.
Yes.
Yeah,
it has a
nice.
secret 2-channel wireless receiver in it. So feasibly, we could be doing this with wireless mics right now.
On stage.
Yep, totally. And the benefit of that is, again, I'm not going to click it, but...
you really want to press it,
I really want to press it, but it will turn the mic off. Is that the wireless mics also benefit from that AFX processing as well. So whilst the Rode wireless mics do sound really, really, really good on their own, chuck a bit of that AFX niceness on them.
Gating. And
sounds absolutely fantastic. So yeah, for presentation sakes, if you're doing like we were talking about TED Talks a minute ago, if you're doing something like that, you could totally have that strapped on you, do your talk and manage all your audio.
So
and
this also as a live events recording device or
totally.
Live streaming.
Yeah.
That would be a thing.
Yeah,
like someone on
absolutely.
stage at an event, you want to live stream it, totally do that on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And control the stream and receive the audio and make it sound sweet.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
It's quite good.
Good, isn't it? Is there anything else to the wireless that we should know?
It's just that it's really easy to set up. You just set... I'm not going to click it again because it will turn the mic off.
Stop trying to click it.
But it's just 2 buttons. You press the button on the transmitter. You press pair on here. Works almost instantly. Very, very quick. And they sound really, really good as well.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's wireless. And then I wanted to talk about recording capabilities. So... the RØDECaster Pro 2 and the RØDECaster Duo, they actually have 2 audio interfaces built in. So what I mean by that, well, it's actually 3.
Why?
Why? So the theory goes, you can have the audio from this going to your stream machine, and then you can have the audio from your laptop or your gaming PC or even an iOS device coming in here on a fader. So let me just show you, I'm skipping forward a little bit because this is something else I want to talk about, but I'm just going to set these faders up so I can show you, one sec.
So what you're saying is these 4 faders don't necessarily do fixed things.
They do not do fixed things.
Something clever. I'm
doing something very clever. So what I've done there now is that now these 2 channels, you can see they've got the little USB icons.
Yeah.
That's USB input 1, USB input 2.
Okay.
And you can actually say what audio goes to each one. So if we wanted to record this this whole thing with just my voice for whatever reason, or without music, or however you want to do it, you can actually customize what goes where. It's also good for redundancy. So you're recording to 2 places at once, 2 machines at once. There's also an SD card slot in the back. You can record to that as well. Now, the benefits are many, but what I'll show you, and the thing I wanted to get to was multi-track recording, okay? So you can actually set up multi-tracking per output. So if I go to...
Multi-tracking is the process of recording all of these various bits of audio with separation.
That's correct.
So that after the fact, you've got my audio separate to yours.
Yep.
And the music or whatever other things or wireless mics.
Yep.
Separate.
So we need to enable it, which is in, just bear me a second, that's going to cause feedback. Where is it routing? So I can do 2 things, okay? So this is the routing table. I can say what gets what feed, okay? So USB 1, I want it to get a custom mix.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so I can now switch off itself. I could even remove you from the mix of USB 1 if I wanted to. There's also custom fader levels for each one. So if we didn't want the sounds, so the sound pads to go out for copyright reasons, maybe that's the version we upload to YouTube, for example. I
see.
You can turn that off.
That's clever.
So yeah, that's totally configurable. So there's also mix minus. So that will take in the, let's say you're using this for like Skype or Teams or something like that. It won't return your audio back.
Create a feedback loop.
Loop as well. So
this is that all in service of doing stuff in real time with other computers, would you say? Because you also have the option of just recording everything with multi-track separation to that SD card.
Yep.
And therefore, at the end of your show, you've got all the bits you need to pull takeaway bits.
It is in the favour of doing it real time.
But it's more about doing, if you really need to work real time and do something with complex streams with loads of audio, you need people to hear different things for different reasons. And it's really flexible.
You know, we were talking about events. I'm not going to touch this one because we're actually monitoring and recording the audio straight out of the unit. But if we wanted to turn off our mics that were going out to the cameras or going out to the studio, we totally could. If we wanted to remove the air horn, we totally could. But imagine this in a kind of live presentation setting that you might have, I don't know, like a Bluetooth prompt coming back to you, someone giving you prompts that, Alex, you've been talking for 10 minutes. And then, you know, you don't want that to go out to the front of house. Yeah. You can totally do that kind of thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's a really, really cool feature. Really,
I like
really
that. Alex,
feature.
you've been talking for 10 minutes. I just came to you naturally.
Thanks,
mate.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right.
I love you too.
And then the last thing I wanted to get to, I sort of gave you a very, very sneak peek, but it's just the kind of customization that's on offer. So we were talking about being able to save shows.
Yeah.
All of this customization that I'm showing you, you can save as part of a show. So if I had a certain setup for how you and me might do a podcast, I might have a totally different setup for, you know, if I was doing one with someone else about something else. You know, I might not need the 2 USB audio interfaces, but I might need my Bluetooth and my sound pad. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. So it's that easy. And do you see the colors changed?
Oh, yeah, nice.
As well. Yeah. So now I don't have USB 1 and 2. I now have Bluetooth, if we had a cooler, for example, and my sound pads. And that's totally customizable. 1 and 2 aren't fixed to channels 1 and 2. I could just swap those over now. So that's your fader, that's my fader. Nice. It's totally customizable. Means you can do an awful lot of different setups with it. So you got like the custom routing and also the custom layouts and all the stuff you can do with the pad. You can really kind of
finesse.
Yeah, it's super malleable.
Save that finesse, right? So it's not just like, oh goodness, it took me an hour and a half to get that exactly how I wanted it.
You just go save.
Now it's saved. You don't have to do that every time that you want to record your show.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's really cool.
I think it's really nice to see how this has evolved from like the previous versions. Yeah, like it just adds in that flexibility and the detail stuff.
Yeah.
But as we said right from the top is you don't have to get into this.
Nope.
There's that auto setup thing. If this seems overwhelming, then I I think it's important to state that you don't need to do that stuff, but it's just there if you need it. It's there.
And yeah, I mean, the Duo's super cute. It's tiny and small.
Yeah, it's Diddy, isn't it?
It's Diddy, you know.
How many VHSs, old money, is that? That's 2 VHSs.
Yeah, you know, chuck in a backpack, couple of mics, easy peasy.
That's your show.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you so much.
Pleasure, mate.
If you have questions, please leave them down below. Comment, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. There's more videos from Tom and myself. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.